Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hope your day is going well. I am the business kid, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to find a great real estate investment. Hope doing good. Hope you like the setup here, and I hope you are doing great. So, yeah, let's get into the video. So, now, if you don't have a great history with investing and are starting to give up on investing, I don't think you don't think that you ever make money from that. But you can have faith. You can still have hope. It will work out. You gotta lose sometime. You can't go winning and never losing. But you gotta take a break for a while. I know that pain. So I'm going to be telling you guys uh, how to find a great investment, real estate and stocks. And yeah, let's get into this. So uh, if you've heard of the princess and the frog, you know that there's the storyline where a princess has kissed the frog, so the frog may turn into a prince in order to become a prince again. And right now, keep that in mind. So the name of this strategy is the 130 10 1 step. So that's the name. So it's a 130 10 1 step. It's, I don't know how I could else make it. And yeah, so step one, let's say you look at 100 properties. I know that's a lot, but you're gonna need that. You're gonna need to find 100 properties, right? And then you list them all out. Look at the top 100, the best 100 that you have, and then you go onto the top 30, the ones that you think deserve to be in the top 30. And then step 2, look at the 30 and choose your top 10. Once you have your top 10, step 3 comes in and you choose the three properties that deserve to be in the top 3. And you look at your number 1, you choose your one out of those 3. I don't know, if you want to do 100 you can do more, but not lower than 100, because you need to kiss as many frogs as possible, so you can find the prince, like I said in Princess and the Frog. So that's another a strategy that could help you. And so you gotta look at these houses or the frogs and find your prince or the investment. Now that's strategy number 1. Now this is strategy number 2. This strategy is very common strategy. It's I mean, you can do it right if you have a business, you're selling something. Now, the, you should ask yourself, if I'm selling this product, will the customer like this product? Will the customer uh, have interest in the product? If you say no, then I don't think that it's gonna help you, because like you're the one that's gonna be paying for it, buying the house. And I think you need to ask yourself those types of questions. Look at what type of people would buy this house. Like, if you should not waste your time uh, if a rich couple is coming to want to buy your house, then you need to get one of your best investments, because they want to spend some money on a new house. So there you go. And they want to rent the house. Ask yourself, is the price fitting for this house? Is it too much? Is it undervalued? You gotta think about those, and you gotta be very careful. If you have a real estate broker, which I advise you may need in the real estate business, if you have real estate broker, you can ask his for his opinion, his or her opinion, and you will, if it's all right, then you can get it. Now the third strategy is also common, is the pros and cons. Basically, the pros are the good things about the investment, and the cons are the bad things about the investment. Now you must gather with your team of brokers, like mostly your real estate broker, mainly your real estate broker. Yeah, that mainly the real estate broker. Now ask the team. When I say team, I mean like there's a stock broker, real estate broker. Uh, there are lots of brokers that you need. Accounting, there's ED attorneys. Gather the people that you know will get you to the higher place with money. So ask them, sit down and talk over lunch or tea or something like that, and ask them, well, what do you think is good about the investment? What do you think is bad? What can we fix? What should stay there? The pros of the property. Tell them about the property. Maybe you can go with them to the property to let them see. But yeah, you can do that. So let's look at some pros. Let's say it's a $200,000 house. It's near the workplace. It's near a workplace. That's the first pro. But it's far away from the nearest school. That's a con. But it has a playground and a pool near, and a supermarket near also. Those are pros, and those are cons. So that can help you now. Another thing is, and I wanted to talk about for the people into stocks, is 7 things an investor like you must consider when buying a stock. Now, number 1, look at the trends of the company's earnings. If generally increase, then that should be a good indication that the company is doing right. So if you don't know what trends are like, the lines that are in one video I was showing you, that is going up and going down. If there are trends that go up, go down, go to the top and go down, middle, down, out, like that, those are trends. So if it's gradually going up, then that's a great indication that the stock is doing something right now. Number 2 is a company relative to its peers. Start by looking at the industry represented in the market and see if there's more potential compared against its competitors. For example, NIO and Tesla. Now, if you don't know NIO is an electric car company, and Tesla, most of you know Tesla, I don't have to explain. So versus each other, both are electric car industry, and both are great investment. Now, if you have like a stock screener, you can look at the PE ratio and compare them against other stocks, and that will help you. Look at the industry they're both in. Then you can decide whether you can bring your team, mainly the stockbroker on this one, and you must talk about it and see if the thing is good about it. So number 5. Now, number 5, how is the company treating its dividends? A company that pays its dividends is often one with a degree of stability. Now, watch out for companies with high yields. A spike of dividend yields mean they are desperate, so that it means the company isn't investing on itself. So watch out. So look at the dividends again. Get like a stock screener if you have. Wherever you're watching this, if you have a phone, a laptop, an iPad, you can go on Google Play or App Store or whatever where you get your apps. Look at if there are any stock screeners and find the best one, and it can help you comparing, looking at the dividends, PE ratios, and stuff like that. Now, number 6, right? Price earnings ratio or PE ratio can be a very big indicator if the stock is overvalued, or it gives an insight on stock's market value. It is also helpful for comparing against other companies. So that will help you with comparing to other companies, and you can see if it's a great investment or not a great investment. Again, PE ratios, price earnings, and the PE ratio, so the price versus how much they're earning, and you can see it. So number 7 is long-term strength and stability. At some time, the company is going to lose value now in the market, but you need to look at the long-term stability and general trend lines, again trends, to smooth out and head higher. Now if they smooth out and head higher, then it's a better indication than some of the other ones, and it will help you to find the stock. So thank you for watching, you absolute kings and queens. Please stay blessed, stay home, and yeah, I love you guys. Subscribe, like, and comment. Bye.